Another major thing we teach them is self-care, which is that they need to plan. If they're going to do 40 hours a week of job search, at least 10 of those hours are doing things that make them feel better about themselves. Because job search is a massive roller coaster ride. It's up and down, it's up and down, it's all the time. And you won't interview well, particularly if you've just been on a down. So you need to be doing things that make you feel better about yourself.
There are opportunities for our work and careers everywhere, if you know where to look. That's easier said than done, especially in our fast-paced and constantly changing world. Ann Faremouth is talking to experts, employers, and job seekers to bring you insight and understanding about what's possible. This is Career Can Do, where we're navigating the new work world.
Welcome to the Career Can Do podcast, a podcast dedicated to helping you navigate the new work world. My name is Ann Faremouth. I'm a career coach, a recruiter, a speaker, and an author. And I have the delight today to have with me two wonderful people that I've known for many, many years that are doing something in the job market that's really making a difference. I have two people today with Between Jobs Ministry, a nonprofit organization that helps people and clients really navigate the new work world. I have Mario Rodriguez with me, a board member, and I have Rich Marsh with me, also someone who is very committed to the job search team and the senior leaders group. So why don't you both introduce yourself, and then we'll go from there. Go ahead, Mario. Tell us a little bit about you and how you got started in Between Jobs Ministry.
My name is Mario Rodriguez. About 6 years ago, I lost my job, and I went to the church where Between Jobs Ministry meets, so I knew about it. In fact, that's the reason I knew about the church, was because somebody told me about that church, and I liked it. So I was there before I needed it. And then I joined it. Then I left it for a while because I was looking to maybe buy a business or do something a little bit different other than looking for a job. But then they asked me to come back and help them out with some things like, I'm a Spanish speaker, so we were having Spanish-speaking people who didn't speak English, so I was able to help them. At that time, there was a lot of Venezuelans coming to this country. And then after that, they asked me to help with the senior leaders group. And I've been working with the senior leaders group now for several years. And Rich Marsh is one of our co-leaders on the senior leaders group. It's an incredible organization because not only I'm a volunteer, almost everybody's a volunteer except for two people. Only there's two people in the staff that are paid. The receptionist, Angela, and Dr. Farmer, who the one who started several decades ago, in fact. And he knows how to encourage people to do things. So we probably have over 50 volunteers. I don't know the exact number that helped set it up, because at one time we were having up to 400 people come every week to our campus to do networking and to find ways to get the next job. So it's a very incredible organization. Everything we do is free. It's our ministry. And once we get into that, I can give more details.
Right. Well, I have to say that I'm thrilled that you took the time, Mario, to come on today because, as you know, I've been involved in this organization for many years, and I've been fortunate enough to be able to speak at some of the events. And also I post my jobs. You have a wonderful job board. And I have to say, because of the training and all the things you do for your members, I've had some really good success with some of the members that apply on the jobs I post. And when I send them out on jobs, they seem to be more qualified than the regular person because of all the preparation and training that your organization gives. And also, as an employer, as a recruiter, to be able to work with an organization like this and talk about jobs, I think we're all in need of this right now because it is a new work world. And I think this organization certainly has its finger on the pulse of where the job market is going. And Rich Marsh is a wonderful person. He's near and dear to my heart because he's also an author and an editor and proofreader. So, Rich, introduce yourself and tell the people out there what you do.
Hi, I'm Rich Marsh. I'm a writer, editor, and among other things, book editor. I've done 17 in the last 2 years. Everybody seems to be productive now. However, I got involved with BJM for the first time back in 2000 when I got laid off from Dynegy. Everybody remembers the Enron collapse? Well, that was part of what hit me. And back then it was kind of small, but getting going. I got a job after that, and I came back in 2011 and was back involved again as volunteer and also looking for a job, and got involved with job search work teams, which are a specialty of BJM's. These are small groups that meet weekly. In fact, I just came from the Orange Team meeting, and where we help people with accountability and training. And I mean, today's class was on how to research salary information and how to negotiate salary successfully. So, I mean, we teach all this stuff, and we also help people. And sometimes folks have got issues, and we try and help them in some detail. So I've been doing that since 2012 on, and just one of those things that became part of my ministry.
Well, I'm so glad to have you both on the podcast show today, because I think starting a new year, there's so many people out there that are challenged right now. I mean, it's a new work world. And, I've been doing my job over 30 years, and I know it's a different market right now to find a job. I mean, pre-COVID, if you had a great resume and a high GPA and good experience, you walked in the door and told them how wonderful you were, you got a job. But now it's not like that anymore. You have to really do your homework. You have to, research the company. You have to know how to negotiate salary. You have to know, what the salary ranges are. You have to know how to present yourself. And from the involvement I've had with BJM, that's what you all do in this new work world. And I think people knowing about this resource will help a lot of people. And the other thing too is, it does have a spiritual base to it. It is connected with churches and all that. I think it's a coalition of, at one point I heard 10 churches got together, but I think it's for anybody, whether they are a member or involved in any spiritual organization or not. It's for anyone who wants to come in and become their best self. And the other thing too is that the thing I've always been so impressed with, Mario and Rich with BJM, is that it's all about what can I do to help someone else. And I think going forward, even if we bring that into an interview, I know my clients tell me when they ask somebody in an interview, what are you most proud of? What have you accomplished that you're most proud of? And they bring out something, well, I had this neighbor down the street that struggling, in the baseball area. And I was a baseball person. I helped him, make the team. Or, there was this neighbor I had that really had 7, 10 interviews and couldn't get a job. So, I networked and helped him network with people I knew to get a job. So one of the things about this organization that's so great is that it's all about helping somebody else. And I think if we can take that mindset now and apply that to the new work world, I think we have an advantage. I'm just so happy that we have an organization like this. And as I said, I wanted to bring you on the show for people to know about it. So Mario, you've been very instrumental in a lot of different things that you've done. And tell us the type, the two organizations. You have the senior leaders group, you have the regular group. Tell us the difference between those, and the people listening out there, how are they segregated out and how would they know which one to go to?
We really have one organization. That's Between Jobs Ministry. So the way that the program is set up every Wednesday is we have 4-hour slots in which we do different activities. The first slot, which a lot of people don't attend, is the senior leaders group. And that's the one that Rich and I work with on Wednesday mornings. That starts at 7:15. And that's for people who really want to go like the extra mile. It used to be called the senior managers group, but it kind of prevented some people from coming because they weren't managers. So we call it senior leaders, because no matter what position you hold, you can be a leader. You can be a file clerk and be a leader. It's a mindset more than it is a position or a title. So that group is a little bit different in that we meet at 7:15 and it's topics. That's where you've spoken, I think, 3 times so far, Mary Ann. It's interesting you brought up research, because this Wednesday we have another career coach who is coming, and he's going to talk about researching on how to find a job and the research you can do to find a job. So that's Bill Proctor. Everybody's welcome to come at that time. That's at 7:15. Then at 9 a.m., we have where we start the program. We have a first-timer, second-timer, third-timer training. And then we have speakers that come in after you go that. First-timers is kind of the introduction to BJM, what it is, how it started, some of the basic information on it. Second-timers is detailed information on how the program BJM has developed, how people can use that program to find a job. Third-timers is job search work teams. During that time, we have 2 classes, and we help you do a branding statement, which kind of makes you If you meet somebody, you have like a real short statement of who you are, what you're looking for. And then we have a 30-second commercial for those people that can help you. And then we have the job search work teams, which I'll let Rich talk about that a little bit. Then at 10 a.m., we have the general session where we talk about it. We have a small devotional. And then we also have recruiters come in. So Marianne, if you ever have a particular position that you're having difficulty filling, you come in about 10:45. And at that time, we have recruiters come up. They come to the front, say what they have, what position, and they can actually talk to people, get resumes, and do a short interview right there. And then at 11 o'clock, we have things like the resume workshop, where people can learn the basics of doing a good resume, and people will help you review your resume. We also have networking sessions where you can go in and meet with other people that are looking for jobs and help each other in your job search. You don't have to be in the same industry to help each other out. You don't even have to be in the same discipline to help each other out. Because, somebody may say, I'm looking for somebody at Hewlett Packard or ExxonMobil. Somebody may have a contact for that. The job search work teams is a separate thing that we help. It meets not just at this church. That's where Rich Marsh meets as the church. But we have them all over town so that people that live like in Katy area don't have to come all the way to our area to do a job search work team. And that's led by leaders. Sometimes there are volunteers that are people looking for a job. Others are like Rich, which have a servant's heart. And he does it not because he's looking for a job, but because he just wants to help minister to others. That's part of his ministry as a Christian. So we have like 7 of them, I think we have at this time. And then Rich can tell you a little bit more about what those programs do.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mario. I think it's a wonderful organization. And again, I'm so proud that, I've been a part of it, and I've seen the class, the instruction that you give. I've seen the people there. I've talked to the people there and what their struggles are and their challenges are. And the great thing is I've kept in touch with them afterwards. So I think it's a wonderful organization. And Rich, tell us a little bit about what you do there, because I know you have a little different role than Mario does.
I'm a longtime leader of job search work team, going on 10 years now. So I've learned a whole lot about what works and what doesn't work. I've probably helped over 250 people land, which is great. Sadly, one of them came back today for the first time, but hey, that happens. In any case,
they came back. That's a good sign. They came back.
Well, they came back, but the sad part was that they quit their job. It was one of those things. But the thing is that the job search work team is a small group to which you're accountable. That is to say, we ask you to answer a couple questions. How did last week's plan go? What is your plan for this week? And can we help you with anything? And the thing is, most people don't understand. Most of the people we get are mid to late career professionals. They worked hard. They were there for 20 years and then suddenly got laid off. They don't have a clue how to find a job. So we teach them marketing. We teach them all the various tools that are out there, and there are a lot of tools out there, and how to use them to build a personal brand and so on. And in the process, they get to tell us how they're doing and be accountable. That means they can tell us, ooh, I didn't work out that well last week. I was planning to reach out to 6 people and I only got to 4, but one of them was really good. Well, often they want to be accountable to their spouses, and we tell them no. Keep your spouses informed, but don't be accountable to them because they don't know how the process works. And that's a pretty important point we've learned. Another major thing we teach them is self-care, which is that they need to plan. If they're going to do 40 hours a week of job search, at least 10 of those hours are doing things that make them feel better about themselves, because job search is a massive roller coaster ride. It's up and down. It's up and down. It's all the time. And you won't interview well, particularly if you've just been on a down. So you need to be doing things that make you feel better about yourself. And so, for example, that's family time. It's time with pets. It's exercising. It's hobbies. It's fishing. I mean, who knows what it is? We had one lady who actually turned her real interest in needlepoint and yarns into a job with Hobby Lobby that turned into a manager's job. And eventually she's now at their corporate offices handling their yarn department. You go, okay. I mean, hey.
That's wonderful.
But the whole point is they have to learn to take care of themselves. The BJM's policy is you should spend 25% of your time doing that. And we get people who go, well, I want to do 40 hours of job search. Well, 10 of those hours have got to be in doing things that make you feel better about yourself, or you won't interview well.
Well, I agree. I think, the beautiful thing about what y'all do at Between Jobs Ministry, it's more of like a holistic approach. It's an integrative approach. And I think you're very right, Rich. If you go into an interview and you have low self-esteem, maybe you've been on 10 interviews and you've gotten 10 rejection letters. If you go on an interview, all right, and maybe you haven't had the beauty of being with an organization like BJM, but you're feeling beaten down, you're feeling rejected, you're feeling negative, and you're going to go into that interview and you're going to present that kind of a mindset. You're going to present yourself that way. And I'd say 9 times out of 10, that's not going to get you the job. So I think that the beauty of what you all do at BJM is that, as I said, it's more of a holistic approach. It's helping that person become their best self, not only in finding a job, but on being a better human being, understanding it's about service, understanding it's about family, understanding it's about support, but not only who's going to support you, but how can you support somebody else? And I think the skills that you teach there are life skills. They're invaluable skills. And I've just been, really happy to be a part of this organization. And I felt so good about it that I wanted to have you on first of the year, because I think that COVID has made us all stop in our tracks and reevaluate. Who am I? What do I want to do with my life? Where do I want to go? But I think at the end of the day, whether you have a spiritual bent or not, I think the more you can have a mindset as far as, yes, I want to become my best self, but how can I help someone else process? I don't think you're going to go wrong. Do you guys agree with me?
Oh, totally.
So I know that also you have a job board, and I place a lot of my jobs on there. So if somebody is really struggling finding a job, how can they go to that job board? How can they find that? Is there a website that's on?
To join that, there's 2 groups, regular BJM one, and that one you can join by coming to BJM. It's not just open for the general public. You have to be invited to join. And so when you first show up, you're asked to sign up. And once you sign up, they'll make you a member of that group. They'll send you an invitation to join. The Senior Leaders Group is part of the same organization. It's called groups.io. It replaced Yahoo Groups, for those who may know what the Yahoo Groups were. That went away. So groups.io we have a subgroup in there, the Senior Leaders Group. That one tends to have jobs that are more for senior positions, people that have a few more years of experience. The BJM one has a lot more varied, like caregivers, maybe truck drivers, bus drivers, things like that, plus senior positions also. But that's the difference, is you'll get less emails with the Senior Leaders Group, but they should be more targeted to the person with more experience. For both of them, you need to come to BJM to join.
Okay. And where do they actually have to go to do that, Mario? Can you give them all? I mean, I'll have all this information on my website. So if y'all are driving right now and you're listening to this podcast and you don't have a pen, you can always go to faremouth.com. But if you're sitting at your desk right now and you're hearing this, where can they go to be a member or to become involved in BJM, Mario? What's the address? It's in the spring, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And the website is betweenjobsministry.org. Pretty simple.
And it's pretty easy to get there. It's a pretty straight shot to get there. I think it took me, less than 45 minutes to get there. So what is that address, Mario?
5503 Fellowship Lane, Spring, Texas.
Okay.
77379. It's off of Klein Church Road. And if you know where the skating rink is, off of Fellowship Lane, we're right across the street from the skating rink.
And as far as the scope of positions, I mean, I know I was at the Senior Leaders Group, but I think in years past, I've been to the other group too. But I think that if you are, anywhere from an administrative assistant to a president, a CFO or a president, I think you have positions or you have training to help that full range of people. Am I right, Rich?
Yeah, in fact, on the Orange team, we've had people from administrative assistants to CEOs, and it's a very interesting mix that happens. Generally, the more senior, more professional people will kind of adopt and mentor the more junior people. And that's very much the junior people's advantage, because I've seen people who CEO lands a new job as a CEO. Well, he remembers the administrative assistant and gets the administrative assistant a new position with his organization. I mean, it's worked out really well.
No, I see that. And I've seen where, people have called me that are, looking for a job, and I've, counseled them and advised them. And then when they get a job and they're in a hiring position, they remember that at one point I helped them. So, it's reciprocal. The beauty of all this in the lesson here too, there's lots of wonderful things, but one of them that I've kind of experienced here is that it's an organization that, really helps people help themselves. But more than that, if you go to this organization, you get mentored and you really demonstrate some service orientation, a skill set, and the dedication to really become your best self. And you're around a senior leader, they might remember you. And if they get hired somewhere, they're going to call you. It's a networking opportunity. It's a learning opportunity. It's becoming more aware of the new work world. Because I will tell you, as we mentioned before, it's not the same way to find a job now as it was pre-COVID. It's totally different. And I think, the times I've been at these meetings, you all are getting speakers up there and getting presentations available to these people that demonstrate what you got to do that's different. Because I think if people don't do that, they're not going to have as much success. Do you agree?
Totally. I deal with this all the time. I mean, right now, the Orange team has got like 21 active participants, and only one is straight from school. All the rest are mid to late career professionals. And the issue is that when they came to us, they had no idea what actually worked. I mean, applying online for a job is a less than 3% proposition, no matter how many times you apply. And in fact, if you do that too often to any given company, you're likely to get blacklisted.
Again, if you are an applicant and you're looking for a new job, if you've been let go, if you're in a job, maybe you're not sure you're in the right job, or if you're a company rep, a HR rep that really is looking to find some top-notch candidates that are really prepared and seasoned and skilled, you need to check into betweenjobsministry.org. I also will have all this information on my website. Again, I can't say enough good things about this organization. The people are quality. The programs they have are outstanding. The mindset they have here is great. And I think the most important thing I noticed is that it's a service orientation that I think if we all as human beings kind of wrap our arms around that and think about what are we going to do now going forward that's going to help us become our best selves. More importantly, how are we going to help somebody else? Our success rate in our jobs, in our lives, with our families is only going to increase. So again, this is Career Can Do. I'm Ann Faremouth. We've got Mario Rodriguez, a board member of BJM, and Rich Marsh, also a board member. I thank you guys so much. And real quick in closing, if each of you can give me one suggestion that'll help somebody in this new work world, what would it be? What is your number one suggestion right now? What do you think?
The people that you've worked with over the years are your best network. And often the one who will help you the most was not the one you were closest to.
Okay.
So go back 20 years, they'll remember you when you had hair. They'll remember you before you got fat.
That's a little bit too personal, Rich.
But the point is that they will help you.
I agree. And what about you, Mario? What do you think your one tip be?
The one tip is to come to BJM because it's a safe place. Most people do not enjoy networking. Maybe 5% of the population that likes networking and going out there and meeting new people. But most people don't do that very easily. And BJM is a good place not only to come and network, but learn how to network because we emphasize that a lot. Networking. And the people you meet there, we have people that come and join us and they're still friends long after they find a job with people they met at BJM. So come to BJM. We're friendly. We even have a room with encouragers. We don't call them counselors because our job is to encourage you in your job search, no matter what you're looking for. We've had recent grads. We had one recently was coming to senior leaders group, and he found a job after a few months as the governor's assistant, the Texas governor's assistant. We had one lady in one of the job search works team that she was 68 years old, but she was bored. So she came and was looking for a part-time job, and she joined a job search work team and she found one, and she's very, very happy. She even would call me, tell me how well it was going. So if you're ever between a young person and an old person, we got a place for you.
Wonderful organization. Again, my name is Ann Faremouth. This is Career Can Do. BetweenJobsMinistry.org. It's a wonderful organization. You will be so happy that you reached out to them. And if you need more information, you can go to my website, faremouth.com. It'll be there. Thank you guys so much. I know you're both so busy, and I so appreciate you taking the time out to come on to Career Can Do. Thank you so much.
And I appreciate that you helping us out and you contributed. Thank you, Mary Ann.
We thank you for tuning in to our Career Can Do podcast. We make no guarantees on results for your particular quest, but we hope you enjoy the information presented. Thank you.